Gary, another fantastic performance, unbeaten this season, up to 7th in the division.
Yeah, really pleased. I felt we started very, very poorly for us in terms of our intensity, about the way we defended, about the way we moved the ball, about the way we tried to get into the space behind Clayton. I didn't think we did it well enough, and I would say first half, although I didn't think MK Dons caused us that many problems, but they certainly got into the final third far too easily. And I was disappointed at half time, probably the first time I've got angry with the players, because our standards have been much higher than that. Second half, much better. I threatened a couple of changes at half time. I think it livened 1 or 2 up. I felt we needed, John looked a little bit tired. Again, you know, he's played the most of the games so far, and he's only 20, and I think he'll take a little bit of time to get those games in his legs. I thought Mags changed the game really when he came on, in terms of the way he gave us a little bit more on the ball. I think putting Dimmy inside, we made a tactical change after about 5 minutes of a second half with it. We pushed the 2 midfielders up. We sat Glees on his own, and it made a difference. We played 20 yards further up the pitch. We had more possession. We moved the ball better. And I think, you know, if you look at the goals, the first goal's a wonderful finish by Glees. He's on fire in a minute. Strange or disappointing that the game was marred really by probably quite a poor challenge on him down by the touchline, which has ended up with an ankle injury. I don't think it's too bad. I think it's just a bruised ankle, so hopefully he'll be okay. And then I think the second goal was also excellent. I think Mags wins it in the first place, plays it to Clates. Clates again shows a different side to his game. You know, he hasn't got to score goals for us if he works that hard and sets goals up and brings other people into play. First time probably we've ran him behind. Mags gets into a great position, shows good pace, and then more importantly, excellent composure with his finish. And I was really pleased for him. That's 2 goals he's got now in not very many starts, and he's shown a little bit more of what he can do.
You described the team as ruthless in that second half, but obviously, as you said, it was a little bit of a slow start. Was the delay because of the change of referee anything to do with that?
I don't know. I don't think the change of referee helped the game at all, because I thought the referee was quite poor. Again, it's not an easy job. It's his first game, I think, at this level. Obviously very unexpected, so I'm sure his preparation wasn't great, but it just didn't help the game, I didn't feel. You know, it became a little bit of a sideshow at times. But I don't know why we started so badly. I suppose if you can argue that in the games against Derby and the games against Burnley, we've started really well and then been not as good second half. I suppose if you're going to do it one way round, you'd do it the other way round, which we did today. Don't be as good first half, go in at 0-0 and improve second half. You know, and I thought we did that much better. You know, just felt we were a little bit, like you say, just a bit slow to the ball and slow to move across the pitch. In second half, we counter-attacked with much more vibrancy. I played with much more vibrancy, and I felt as though, you know, second half was as good as we've been so far.
There's a little incident with Damari Gray, who is a cool customer usually, but obviously he was unhappy with something. What went on down there?
Well, I was unhappy with 1 or 2 things McFadzean did. I think he booted the ball in Dimmy's face, I think it was. I'd have to see it again really, but I think that's what incensed Dimmy so much. Of course, he can't raise his hands. I think he only pushed his chest, so I think that was why it was only a yellow card. Obviously at that point my heart went in my mouth for a couple of seconds. But again, you know, I think if you saw the way like a lad from Sheffield who played for Alverton in the Conference North, I used to really like watching him play. Probably doesn't need to go down quite so acrobatically. You know, Dimmy's only 9 stone ringing wet, isn't he? I'm sure that he wouldn't have made his feet leave the ground. But listen, that's what it is. He's got to learn not to do that. And I felt as though after that, perhaps the safer thing would be to take him off. But I thought all in all, Dimmy's performance was really good. He worked incredibly hard for the team. And showed second half some really good bits going forward.
In summary, going into the international break, 6 unbeaten this season, 9 in all going back to last season, 7th in the league. Couldn't be any better, could it?
No, fantastic. You know, when you see some of the teams in our division struggling for a win, you know, and we're keep going. That was probably the first game I felt out of the league games that, you know, we should take something today. Obviously the Reading game was always going to be difficult. I think they're much improved. Of course we know Burnley away and Derby at home were always going to be difficult games. MK Dons was one you probably look at and say, I think we should go there and get something. I'd have been pleased with anything today really, just to keep us going. The fact that we put a really good second half performance in, the fact that we kept another clean sheet, 2 in a row now, and scoring goals. You know, we spoke about this last season, we didn't score enough goals. We conceded too many overall, but we're looking okay at the moment. We've got plenty to work on, and like you say, going into the international break with a nice breather for the players, which we will give them. We'll give them a nice breather. I think they deserve it. but we'll still work very hard in the couple of days that we're in, and then we're back in the week after to work and prepare for the Bristol City game. You know, we've got to keep going. We've got 2 home games now, and we've set ourselves up really nicely for this period.